Thank you, sir.
Okay, doing my best here to keep this whole project from looking like the Blair Witch Project, but here we go. I'll wait till about 11 before I start the official tour, but we'll do a little outdoor walkabout. And we'll start actually at the airport ferry.
Sorry, boss.
One of, if not one of the shortest ferry rides in the world. I think at one point it had the record for it, because it goes basically from here across a very short stretch of water over to the, we'll call it mainland, and then the ferry terminal connects here
So the whole
back to the airport. And from here, we can see the CN Tower and the top of the Rogers Center. Which a lot of people still remember as the Sky Dome. Just as the rain is starting, but we should be mostly protected from it. I think we'll begin from the ferry, even though I did not take the ferry to get here. And the rain is coming in. So we'll just get ourselves a little bit protected here. We'll head over to where the ferry would drop people off. There's also a tunnel that goes underneath. And a lot of people here already, which is cool. Indy 88 FM has a booth. Cool, I got water on my lens already. I think I have a lens cloth. Oh, maybe I don't.
Mom and Dad, flight pass is available. Name and phone number on file. Call you with.
See. Good fashion style. Give me a second, I'm going to get somewhere a little bit drier and pull the lens hood up a bit. Anyways, down this way, there's connections to the orange hangar, the Porter hangar, and some of the fire equipment and vehicles, which is pretty cool. Just give me a second here. I can't even access my sleeve. I have nothing. Hello. I wiped my camera with my battery pack. That'll work. Alright, let's head over to the ferry. Oh, actually, there's no way in over here. Oh yeah, there is. Alright. You go that way. We'll have a nice, let's peek over at the Toronto skyline before we begin. Beautiful looking city. And there's the ferry over there at its starting point. I didn't realize how many vehicles you can fit in there. I saw a double-sized tanker on that ferry earlier, but there's the CN Tower. A lot of Porter presence here, being one of their bases. This will be a shaky stream from time to time since I'm not super stabilized. I got a little tripod in my hand, mini tripod. But here we go. Alright, let's head up these stairs. We'll get to the ferry waiting area and we'll pretend that we have exited the ferry at the island airport. So it is a free ferry, which takes you to the heart of downtown Toronto. And then they offer free shuttles to Union Station. But this would be what you see if you exit the ferry here, as YT said. And these elevators would take you down to the tunnel, which goes underneath Toronto Harbour to walk back to the mainland. Dash 8 over there, you can see. We'll see Dash 8 in a little bit when we go to the Porter hangar, but Toronto Harbour is here. And when the planes are approaching from the east, this is their flight path to land at the island airport. All right, let's go to the terminal. I'm not going to spend too long in the terminal because they have, it's very busy. They have a lot of booths set up and people are spinning wheels to win prizes.
Thomas.
I got myself some Porter mints earlier, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it's a cool airport. I like it. So if we were going to check in for a flight, this would be kind of the place we begin. I'll head over there in one moment. Let's just have a look at what's going on here at Doors Open Toronto. That escalator takes you down to the tunnel, back to the mainland. And as you can see, a lot of people are here already. It is a popular event, and I think a pretty cool glimpse into airport operations. Appreciate you joining us, folks, here at Doors Open Toronto, Billy Bishop Airport. We are with Turbulence Aviation. Normally we do live streams from Pearson, but this is a special event. And so over on this side, this would be security where you go for your Canadian departures. And then on the other side, security for US departures. And check-in counters here for Porter. And the Air Canada counters over here for Jazz Aviation operating Air Canada Express flights. So what do you say we check out the event itself? Head downstairs. And we'll go have a look at some of the various things around Billy Bishop. I'm excited to show you the Porter hangar. Get to get up close and personal with a Dash 8. I'm not sure if we'll get anyone to talk to us today because we are, live and people sometimes don't like being on camera. So we'll try to be as nice about it as possible. All right, so we are here at the back end of things. It was a little less busy. I don't want to necessarily wade through that entire crowd, but I'll show you some of the things that they're doing before we go for a little bit of an exploration of the airport itself. They do have some cool memorabilia here, as the airport is called Billy Bishop Airport, named after a Canadian World War I flying ace. Let's have a look at some of this stuff. So it says here we got the Royal Flying Corps RFC uniforms. The RFC First World War uniforms were made from the best military grade khaki. Oh, it's khaki wool. Fully lined with satin. Let's see. Looks a little different today, I guess. Hats are similar. Airline pilots have a similar style hat, just different colors perhaps. The boots there. Alright, let's see if we can wade through this. This is going to be fun. As mentioned in the description, the cell signal might be spotty, so we may get some buffering. I did last year when I was doing the member stream, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to just walk as smoothly as I can through this crowd. They're giving away coffee here, and they got some booster juice giveaways and such.
In case you didn't know, like, all these weapons are not allowed.
They are advertising helicopter tours here. You take around the city. Over here is the RCAF Foundation. They got some books and things for sale. You can do a little questionnaire trivia. You have a chance to win a prize. I won some mints earlier with YTZ on them. There's a lovely art display here about the immigrant experience called Bloody Boats or something. I forgot already. It's got a little busy. Air Canada's here talking about their premium economy. They're giving away a premium economy snacks. Nice guy there. Talked to him earlier. Alright, let's head out of this massive humans and into the outdoor section. A lot of giant strollers here today. All right.
Sorry to disturb you. Can you remember your name? Oh, okay, sorry. Do you want to say hi because my mom always works? Are you sure?
Do you want to say hi?
Tu veux dire bonjour? Ah, okay.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Someone who watches the channel wanted to say hello, one of the kids. That's nice. Right, before we walk around the corner, we'll have a look over here. And there's the tail of a Q400, and is that a Cessna landing? Looks like it. They do have flying schools on the island. So that would be cool to do flight training, be right next to downtown Toronto. And the ferry has returned as well.
It's so bright. It's so freaking bright.
All right.
Would you hate me really badly?
Let's go for a walk.
My jacket in here, please, 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 please.
Appreciate you being here, folks. This is definitely an experiment. Ferry's on its way. There are cars on there. I didn't realize it was a vehicle ferry last time I was here, but I guess it makes sense, seeing as how there are a lot of vehicles on the island and they need to get stuff to and from.
Yeah. I was looking great. I was like, I wanted to go to the archive.
I will head back here. Oh, we got the Billy Bishop mascot here. That's cool. Wonder if we can get him to give us a wave.
Thank you very much.
And he's so friendly. Do you want a picture with the fox? No, he's just a friendly guy.
That's fun. All right, let's continue on. A tugboat over here, Port Toronto. Indy 88 is here as well. Is that a bouncy castle of some sort? That's cool. Going on at the Indy 88 booth. Sometimes they have things. Stickers and sunglasses. Definitely got my kids Indy 88 sunglasses last year. They're cool.
They weren't sticking out.
And we have over here the Iron Guppy tugboat.
Ele tá fazendo mais esforço que eu para pegar comida.
This is a pretty cool experience, actually. I also love the views of Toronto from here. Skyline is gorgeous. Some old Canada Malting Company Limited. And before I crossed, this is kind of a side note. Allow me to sidetrack you for a second, but before I came across, I went over to this area here, which is called Ireland Park, and they have these, see a couple in there, these statues that are in the same style as statues on the south side of the River Liffey in Dublin, where kind of to commemorate the potato famine in Ireland in the 19th century. And so they're, you know, reaching out and weak, and very haunting images of people, you know, fleeing the famine and suffering. And then on this side of the ocean, because there were a lot of Irish people who fled, sorry, I can speak, and ended up in Canada. So it's kind of the other side. They also have an Irish memorial in New York City as well, in the southern tip of Manhattan, which is also quite moving. But, they say there are more Irish people living outside of Ireland than there are living inside Ireland, so that's kind of cool. Ireland's a cool place. Highly recommend. As you can see, we are very close to the city. The airport is not that far across, so the ferry is a very short ferry ride from there to about there. And they have since built a tunnel that goes underneath. Bushman, yes, just looking at the YouTube comments here. Yep, it's still operating. Regular day for the airport. But they also have this going on behind the scenes. But yeah, regular departures and arrivals. It's not interfering with the operations. This is far busier this year. Last year I did not have to join this gigantic lineup to get into the various buildings. And I didn't earlier when I first arrived, so we'll kind of see where I might skip this line and just see where we're at. Walk to the other end first, go show you some of the fire equipment, and you can actually see the runway from the other side as well, which is kind of neat. I'm so glad this camera has a little bit of stabilization to avoid the Blair Witch vibes. I don't know, Emil. I'd be surprised if they let you go fishing. Yes, this is the orange hangar. They have a ambulance in there and a mannequin or a dummy on a stretcher getting CPR, which is kind of cool. You can flight spot down here, but the views are not great. There's no great place to stand where you can see full view of the runway. But you can see them once they're above building lines and such. Well, let's head to the Porter hangar. That'll be cool and related to the channel. You can get your photo taken inside one of these frames with Porter crew. They have pilots and flight attendants and other personnel, which is pretty awesome. And there is my favorite part of today is the Q400. But they have other neat stuff here too. Golf Charlie Golf Alpha. Those are some very large skis on this float plane.
Big actuator right here. It's like a hydraulics set. So this thing, so it starts pulling, and the nose wheel will go up and then in.
Alright, we're coming up to Q400, Golf Lima Quebec X-Ray. They look like little dashies when we see them on the stream, especially after a 777 lands, but when you get up close, they're not that small. Cargo door here. Not a huge ton of cargo space in the Q400. back end of the engine. Anyway, if you're in and around Toronto and airports aren't your thing, highly recommend you check out some of the other stuff they have. Just Google Doors Open Toronto. Billy Bishop's only open today, but tomorrow there are many other Toronto sites, like Lower Bay Station, the secret subway station that is below Bay Station. They use for a lot of movies and stuff. I've never been there. My kids and wife have been there. It's always been a place I wanted to go check out, but I've been busy doing, you know, other airplane stuff. Somebody just gave the propeller a little bit of a spin there. Let's go see around the engine. Well, this is background music. That's okay. That'll demonetize the stream. That's all right. Appreciate y'all, folks. This is cool. You can see inside the components here. It's turboprop. What I didn't realize until not long ago is these are actually jet engines, turboprops, but with the propeller at the front. But they're not like piston engines. The propeller, rather than turbine fan blades, makes the jet engine work. Let's get up close to the front here. Up towards the front of the aircraft.
And Miss Rita. Yeah, and then once we've done a nice picture, we might. Look at this.
What can we see inside, if anything? A little bit. Not much. Mostly windshield mark. A very cool looking aircraft. I like the Q400s. Little dashes. Robert, thank you so much for your support. An amazing $13.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. Anywhere you want to go, Robert? Anywhere you want me to take you with the camera? I'm happy to oblige. We're here live at Billy Bishop Toronto City Centre Airport. An airport we don't generally get to as part of our stream. We're hanging out with the Q400. They have the Porter First Officer here talking to some of the visitors, answering questions. So, questions you want to ask, crew, come on down. Everyone here is always very happy to chat about whatever you want to know about. Structures shop over here. Alright, we'll make our way back through this way in a bit. Much appreciated, Robert. Once again, thank you. Awesome. Let's go around the back of this building where we can see some of the fire equipment. It's pretty cool. Last year I did this live stream just for members, and I did it with my GoPro and my phone. But now we're able to go live with my actual camera because I have my new setup.
Oh yeah, that is so funny.
We'll kind of back out here a bit. I can't stop looking at the wing. Beautiful Q400. Doors open Toronto 2025 here at Toronto City Centre Airport. And you're looking at a Q400. Just as impressive on the ground, I think, as it is in the air. You can get your photo taken with some of the crew as well. There are contests and lots of fun stuff down here. So we'll head out. We'll come back though. Not abandoning the Q400 because it is one of my favorites. Very bright out. At least the rain has stopped. Last year it was pouring. I was walking around with Mel last year and it was very wet. But today is a lot nicer. Nice bit of wind, which I'll take. The lineup is still huge for the orange hangar, so we'll stay away for a minute. Apparently, you can go inside all of these fire vehicles, which is pretty cool. This is the area where I lost signal last year, so if it gets buffery, I do apologize. Sometimes it's a bit spotty when there's a lot of people on, especially at large events, air shows and such. A lot of people accessing the mobile network, but look at some of these vehicles here. Now that is a brush. Could do a number on your driveway. I will not be climbing up on the stream because I do not have the ability to do that. With this camera, it's too many things. There's the tower. I think we can see inside, but that's where Nav Canada employees are controlling the control zone. Another snow vehicle here. I think it's snow. It's got a brush on it. I don't know much about operations. This is what I'm learning today, that I have lots to learn, but I enjoy that process. That is a cool brush though. And of course, turning around, beautiful view of the Toronto city skyline. So if you want to climb in one of these, get yourself down to City Centre. Free event. They're open till 5 o'clock today as part of Doors Open Toronto, but they are not open tomorrow for this event. So other places in the city are open tomorrow, but this one is not. This will definitely clean my driveway. Look at that snowblower. Holy moly. When you got to get planes off the ground in Canada in the winter. I think this is the show an example of a shuttle bus that takes you from the city side of the ferry over to Union Station in downtown Toronto. It's their complimentary shuttle service. Ah, what the heck? Let's go have a look. It's a bus. Don't get too excited. So this is the bus that will take you from the downtown entrance to the ferry to Union Station. Spot for luggage, of course. Like an airport bus, typical airport bus. Seats at the back, and we will exit through the back. Actually, the weather's quite nice today. Not too cold, not too hot. The clouds are nice, actually. And we might even get to see a Dashi depart. Oh, I hear something. There we go. Landing or departing? Landing. From Montreal on a Q400. Up close and personal. So there are definitely some places to spot aircraft down here. Alright, and there's one of the fire rescue vehicles.
What, I guess those guys.
Alright, let's continue around. Keeping my eyes peeled for departures on the radar.
Get tap water.
Good question about the horn. I am not sure. Oh, thanks for tuning in, folks. I wasn't sure if we'd get anybody to watch. It's not my usual plane spotting stream, so thank you. The FBO here at the island. And other displays and booths. Civil and military wildlife programs, which is cool. Oh, and yeah,
The hawks, they sit in our cars. They don't have a hood. They're very sit and wait predators, whereas these guys are like hunt on the wing. They like to chase things, so that's why he wears the hood. But the hawks, they have their own little space in our back seat. They see some bird.
I try to get around to the other side to have a look at the bird there.
Malcolm. What? Nice cover. Yeah, so right now, there's I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so right now we try to limit how much they catch. But when we do let them catch, it keeps that threat of a predator real. So we try and trade off with them, give them our food, that way they still will come back to us and not just fly off. He's got his eyes covered with something that's called a hood. It looks like a funny little hat. pretty much it just keeps them really calm. So falcons, they like to chase their prey in the skies. So if he saw something, he might want to fly off. But there's also good dogs around, and he can be a little bit skittish around dogs, so it also prevents him from seeing them, so he doesn't freak out.
But how is he going to break out if there's something attached to it?
Well, he's not going to break out because I've got him tied here. I don't want him to fly off right now. I'm just taking a break. Normally I'd have him on my glove, but I've been here for quite a while, so I needed a break for my arm.
I have a question. What's his name?
His name is Bullet.
Bullet?
I know an approximate range. It's a pretty big range. He's between 8 and 12. So,
How long do you like live in this job?
He could live to be like in his late 20s, maybe even 30s. In the wild, typically like hawks and falcons live to be like late teens, early 20s.
If anyone has any questions.
In this line of work, he's getting fed every day. He gets free health care. So.
Do they retire at a certain age?
Some of them do. Some of them belong to the company. Some of them belong to like my coworkers. Some of them get sent off to like our breeding programs to replenish like their spot, I guess. But most of them pretty much work up until their very old days, until they're old and gray. So it's pretty much the same way it works out in the wild, right? Like hawks and falcons. You don't really see like a gray hawk or gray feathered hawk. So
Wow, that's something really
Stay here.
How did you learn to be a falcon?
I did learn some stuff on the job, but most of my experience came from volunteering during university for a program that used non-releasable birds of prey. So they'd all been permanently injured from like car crashes and stuff, car collisions. So that was how I started working with hawks and falcons, and it was really the people I met there, the experience and the connections that I found out about this job. I'd never like really flown birds or worked birds
We'll check in on the
until this job, so there was
checking on the falcon later. Border Services, representing the keeping the border safe and customs. Canada Border Services Agency. They're the ones you have to check in with every time you travel internationally if you're visiting from outside the country. Let's see if we can look at the field for a bit more. This is a cool part of the airport, getting a chance to get out here. It would be really neat to see a Porter -8 take off. Not sure what the schedule's looking like. Looks like a 12:10 will be our next departure. This is why a lot of people ask if I would come down and do a stream from down here of action, but there's not that much happening. Runway inspection. It's not the same. Love it though. Tower's cool. Not as tall as the Pearson one, but we're dealing with a little bit smaller of a field. Honking the Border Services horn. That's cool. People like horns. Fire and rescue number 2. So yeah, you can, if you're down here later, you get a chance to walk up and get inside the fire truck, which is pretty cool. I'll head back down towards the Porter hangar because this horn is starting to drive me a little bit insane. I can only imagine what it's like on your computers or whatever device you're watching on. Yep. Like a car. Although if I was a kid and I had a chance to unabashedly honk a horn You know I would. 100% of the time. All right, let's see where else we're gonna go here. This is the airfield maintenance hangar.
Yeah, I like them here. Better than and it's good for the dog too.
See what we see. We will come back. I'm not going anywhere. I'd like to come back and see the Falcon again. Definitely push some stuff around with that. Alright, we will come back. I want to see the Falcon again in a bit. See if we can catch that 12:10 departure to Windsor. Porter 2577 on a Dash 8 Q400. It's the next scheduled departure that I can see on the radar here. Back to the snow vehicles and the brushes. Sorry. And the beautiful city skyline behind us. Appreciate y'all being here, folks. Thanks for anyone who sent a tip or super chat along the way. It is $40 to park down here, so thank you. I would pay anyways because I would come on my own accord, even if I did not bring you along with me, so it's all good. Downtown Toronto, what do you want, right?
You know why they didn't want the chemical trucks? We found out. Oh yeah, I know, I heard the chiefs. Somebody was telling me that, yeah, the chiefs. They say that's chemical. It's salt. Meanwhile, they're plugged in.
Let's see what the orange hangar looks like. Oh, we got mascot coming along. Assuming the Billy Bishop mascot. Alright, looks like there's not a giant lineup of humans for the orange hangar, so that's a place we have not visited yet. We'll ride the ferry back too. Do the whole shebang. That's not an aviation term. Although I have been watching a lot of nerdy YouTube channels about word origins and etymology and stuff, but balls to the wall, I just thought it was a slightly rude term, but then I learned it was fighter jets in World War II bit, which separated the cockpit from the engine housing. It was like taking that ball and pushing it towards the wall, which meant going full throttle all in. Alright, it's a line for a specific. Spin the wheel. I won a luggage tag actually, that was kind of cool. This last year I bought VO a shirt here. The Lives Uplifted shirt, Air Ambulance Toronto. That's the same shirt VO and I have. Let's do a little walk over here. I'm going to raise up the camera so you won't be able to hear me very well then. Ambulance. Last year I think they opened the hangar doors and we saw a helicopter do its thing.
This is all the other stuff that
This is the dummy on the stretcher, not doing too well. It's a bit busy. I'm not going to get some great shots, unfortunately, because people keep walking into me without saying excuse me or sorry. Because they say Canadians are polite, but not always.
That's all I'm doing. This machine broke or not working. So between this plunger and the back is your heart. So it's just literally squeezing your heart from the outside versus your heart pumping from the inside.
It's a lot of physiology. You need to know your medications really well, what they do, what the side effects are.
I will head out of this hangar. Let's go back to the Porter hangar. See the Dashi again.
Let's get out of here.
It's just a little busy in here. And then we'll head back out to the outdoor area. 20 minutes or so, it looks like the... Hey, Tori, good to see you. See if we can watch the
This is just for the prize wheel.
Dashi depart in a little bit. It's a lovely day down here. Just flying out of here as a passenger. I've flown out of here, or into here, once, I think. No, twice. Once when I was coming back from and stuff, so I flew back via Montreal just so I could fly into the island airport. We did a Jazz RJ 220 from Montreal. I did go through Montreal. So on my way back from Chicago 3 years ago, I took a layover in Montreal just so I could fly a Dash 8 to the island. And then when coming back from Washington, D.C., I flew Porter Q400 from Dulles to the airport here. So twice I've flown in. Never flown out of the island, but I've flown into the island twice. And we're back with the Q.
There's a formula. You know the speed of the air and the static pressure of the air. You know how much. Or how fast the air is going.
Float again. We'll do one more walk by the Q400 and then head back outside.
So we'll go like they'll sequence them so we'll inboard from the outboard of the wing to go slowly in, and basically either have one of the intakes for each engine, and then we'll have a bunch of them on the wing. Anything that has like the black, kind of rubber thing, that's the boots. Even on the box, it doesn't use air. It actually uses heaters. It's like the same stuff that's on your car, like in the back, like the rear defroster. It's like the same idea. And then we have this thing. No problem. We have this big kahuna. I call this the Excalibur. Nickname it. This is used for like torquing stuff, so like tightening it to a specific amount. So we'll use it for like stuff on the wheels, you know, torquing the wheel. Oh, there you go. Yeah, we got a tire. We got a tire now. Put it on. Yeah. And then even on the engine here, some of the components that like the mounts, removable props, anything that you need big, you use this big boy. Yeah, so
a lot of torque with that thing.
A lot of torque. Yeah. I've definitely done a bunch of torque with this. It's like you're trying to push, come on, you can do it. It's like, there you go. Get it right on the spot. This here is what's called a cable tensiometer. So on this plane we use cables for the flight controls. So there's a bunch of cables that run underneath the plane and on top of the and basically from the controls column and your little pedals, your controls that run all the way down to all your flight controls throughout the plane. And we want to make sure that they're tight. So we use this, and basically we'll use it to measure the tightness of it. And it'll basically, once it gets to a certain torque, and then we'll basically see and read it. If it's too tight, if it's too loose or too tight, we'll use that and then adjust it accordingly. And yeah. And then everyone's favorite thing, the seat belt, you know, pull the clasp onto the seat, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then, tire pressure gauge. This is, you know, a standard one you find in a car, but definitely a lot more pressure because these things can do around 141 to 148.
How long do these tires last?
Season dependent on, so in the winter time they're going to last a little bit longer. During the summertime, since it's nice and hot, they're going to last a bit shorter. I'd say about maybe 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months.
In the summer there.
Then you have to replace them.
It depends on, honestly, where we're landing as well. If the runway's kind of nice like ours, you're going to have a longer life. If you're landing in somewhere like Sault Ste. Marie, it might be a little bit rougher. So
yeah, more rougher runways.
Tires could last 2 or 3 months.
And even how much they break with them.
Depending on the pilot too,
Yeah, depending on the pilot. Some guys will like break it really hard and just, you'll see it just skid like crazy.
Yeah, we actually have a tire right here. This one's not good anymore.
No. This one's out of limits. Yeah. So here's like this kind of stuff. So, we got this big tire here. Got a big tire here. Nice and big. All the little thick. It's going to be hard to put on the tires.
Yeah, no kidding.
So for most tires, we have, it's one piece. For the rims, they're one piece. This is the one for this one.
Yes.
And if you can see here, it's 2 piece.
It depends on the company.
So it's much more easier to install them. So we put them on there and then basically, and then
you use the same tires summer and winter?
Yep, they're both the same. They're rated for both. They're rated for both seasons. Because no matter where you go, think about it. You could be going over here and then flying them up in the Arctic somewhere. So yeah, you need a tire that can do all purpose. So yeah. All right.
Quite honestly, I don't know.
Any other questions?
Oh, they operate under the Porter Airlines. It's just we're kind of separate. We work on this one here. Yeah, no problem.
You want to ask something?
You guys have any questions? Yeah, what's up, buddy?
So this is a black box, but it's orange. When I first came to this,
The black box?
they're black. Well, it makes sense they're black, right? So you can like locate them in the water or somewhere in a crash site. So yeah, they used to be black back in the day because you know you didn't know better. So yeah, use the same paint, use all that, put on the same stuff during World War II and all that. And the fun thing with these ones, in the event that you land in the water, crash in the water, we have a locating device on them. We have locating devices on, so there's 2 of them actually on the plane. There's not. So this one that I have here is called the cockpit voice recorder. So this records cockpit voices for like crashes to know what happened in their cockpit. And then we have another one that lives literally right beside it, and it records all the flight data. So everything from like flight control positions, engine controls, airspeed, G-forces, you name it, anything, any parameter you can think of, it's going to record it. And it's going to record approximately with these ones 25 hours. So, and then the battery on the locating beacon is 120 days. And then, so everything here is all electronics, the aircraft, everything there is like more mechanics. So we'll start with, so we started with this, the really steal of the show, the black box, or the flight data recorder. We have this mask. What this mask does is pretty cool. So in the event that we lose pressure, in the cockpit we have 2 of them, one for the captain, one for the co-pilot, and even one for the observer. Basically, there's this button you press, and you see all these tubes. If I had oxygen to show you, essentially what we'll do, these tubes will all expand and stretch to basically, so you can put it on quickly on your face and then get your oxygen as fast as you can get it, and it will clamp on your face to make sure it's a perfect seal. You even have a little mic just so you can talk to the tower and talk to the people inside. And yeah, so that's one of those. This thing is expensive, very expensive indeed, around $250,000. I'm very holding this dear in heart to me. This is the FADEC. So what's a FADEC? This is the brains of the engine. So there's 2 of these, one on each engine, of course, and each one has 2 computers. So it's all electronic. So in the event that you lose one, it will automatically swap to the second one. In the event that you lose it, basically it will take your pilots from your throttles, basically convert it to basically say, okay, pull a little bit more fuel to go add a little bit more power. This here is one of many radios that we have on this plane. This is what we want to have right here. It's called distance measuring equipment, or DME. So basically what this does is, in the name it suggests, it'll measure your distance from a ground-based station. And basically, the only thing you can do with that is like, yeah, sure, I can measure the distance, right? What good is it to me when I don't know the speed? How fast am I going? Because I sure have airspeed, but it's only in the air, but how fast am I going on the ground? So we also have, you can calculate ground speed, and you can also calculate how long you have, like how much you have to go. Right here is one of many different panels that we have in the cockpit. All the different buttons, all the different switches that we have. This is one of many. This is, for example, air conditioning. You have your bleeds for your engines. You have flows with flow rates. You have your different temperatures for the different parts of the cabin. And then you have your switches. And you have your temperature gauges. Funny with this one, the captain can be, if the captain's really nice or really mean, you have a little switch here. You can set it here, and if they feel really nice today, you can set it to the FAs to control it. So the FAs can, if they have it set to that position, the FA can control what the temperature is in the cabin. Right here, battery, big boy. So we got 3 of them on the plane. So these are primarily used for starting the engines. Once you get up to speed, and then basically the engines, so we have essentially a starter, but it has 2 purposes. It's both a starter and a generator. So once it gets up to speed, it will automatically turn on to the generator, and it'll start charging this thing back up for another start if you have, because we have 2 of them, and we happen to have an engine in the back. But now all that this basically is what's called an auxiliary power unit. It gives you electricity for the plane.
Very fascinating.
Air conditioning air, so you can use it for air conditioning, to cool it down before the flight. And yeah, so this basically seems to know a lot about it.
I'm an engineer. So
Definitely learning a lot today and really enjoying myself here at Billy Bishop. Love the Dash 8s, they're really cool. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to keep wandering. I'm going to go back outside for a bit. Sorry, I don't have a really good secondary camera. But we're going to go back outside in a minute. See a little bit more of the runway and the outdoor action, but that was really cool. The AME telling us all about the Q400. Let's head back out to the, maybe we'll see the Falcon again. And hopefully a takeoff of a Dash 8, perhaps. Although we won't see it rotate based on the view is blocked by the buildings, but maybe get to see it as it departs.
This is one that actually...
Global News. Camera just came in. Also doing their live thing. Their camera's a little bit larger than mine. They have a different thing going on.
Don't forget the CN Tower.
Oh, that would be a cool shot. To get the CN Tower in the background. Photo with the Porter frame.
What's going on in here? Yes.
Alright, let's head back out. Just a small, looks like a Cessna takeoff in the distance. And continue walking. Hope everyone's having a good day today. It is Saturday. Enjoying the start of your weekends, I trust. Thank you, Hazel. Appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Glad to provide what I can. Actually, I haven't gone down this little area here so we can look at some of the tractors and such.
We're gonna go back in the tunnel and we're gonna go.
One side wasn't in.
Ooh, our favorite. Airfield inspection. And this one here is a friction tester. In the winter, they do get the runway friction index, which lets people know how slippery the runway is. That's cool. That is a large blade over there. And back to the tower. Looks like they got the blinds down for blocking out the sun. We'll continue over. Maybe we'll end today with a ferry ride back to the mainland.
Snowplow, guys. And that's where it throws it out. See?
We'll see where we get to.
And now we are going to go back.
I might head over to the fence. See if we can see a departure. Be nice to catch one departure. Oh, we got a flight to Newark that is pushed back, and that flight to Windsor also pinging. All right, so we'll head over to the fence. Let's see if we can get ourselves a half decent view of any of the action. We'll just park here a moment. Looks like there's a private Cirrus. Doing a circuit for 2.6, possibly. Looks like the queue to Newark has begun its taxi.
That's cool. With the clouds too, it's quite something. Yeah.
Low fire truck, red one.
All your fire truck needs. All right. The ground is wet. Can you get up?
Porter 2129 to Newark is making its way down to the runway for a 2.6 departure. It's holding short for Q coming in. Here we got Porter 2388 coming in from Chicago Midway. Q400 on final for runway 26, so we'll watch it finish its rollout. There's also a helicopter. Couple of Porters on the stream in action after watching the queue sitting nicely in the hangar.
Maybe tag these ones so I can directly. Maybe tag me. So I will share them and pretend that I did something. He did.
One came in from Chicago Midway, Porter 2388-8Q400. And we're going to see 2129 depart shortly for Newark.
I said it's so it's quite labor. Okay, there's one more that's gonna please continue. There's one more that's going to airport. Yeah. So yeah. Money, I love how
Really cool. The Windsor flight is looks like it's pushed back anyways. Got a ground speed of 12 knots on the radar. Maybe we'll wait for that one as well. Why not?
oh, I can't hear everything.
Beautiful day out here today at Billy Bishop Toronto City Centre Airport. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit that button. It really helps us out. Appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, I'm looking at the radar. Looks like Pearson's landing on the 3-3s today. Let's see if that lasts. Wonder why it doesn't look like it's that windy. Oh, it's got a bit of a... That makes sense. So, if the winds are gusting over 20 and they're looking at some rain, that will change the runway direction. So wet runway lowers the wind speed at which they can continue operating in crosswinds. So if it's dry runway, everything else is good, but they usually take 30 knots at the crosswind before they switch to the 3-3s or the 1-5s, depending on the direction. But if it's wet, that number changes because the friction is different. So there is a threshold. People often ask on the channel why they're still using the 2-4s or the 0s if the wind is from the side, but they have a speed threshold.
What's the difference? Oh, next one's Air Canada.
Alright, let's go see the Falcon again if we can, and then we'll make our way back. He's on the other side now. He's facing the other way. We'll go around. Actually, I'll watch the dash for a minute. More zoom than I'm comfortable with, especially handheld. Handheld is tough.
Horizontal wise, but they will go pretty high vertical wise. Like if they can go above the clouds sometimes, especially if the ceiling is pretty low. close to us where they can see us because they know we have what's called a lure. This is where his food's gonna be when I want him to come back, and when he's gonna get his food is when this starts swinging. So he's waiting for me to bring this out pretty much. So he's gonna be keeping an eye on me, so he won't go too far.
I'm not getting hit by the planes.
Yeah.
Sorry, what kind of bird?
He is a Gyr-Saker hybrid falcon. So the Gyr falcon is from the Arctic, and the Saker falcon is from Europe. So pretty much the best of both worlds for flying in Canadian weather, both in the summer and the winter.
Yeah. So what kind of falcons and hawks do you have?
Most of them are Gyr-Saker hybrids. We do have one peregrine falcon and one peregrine Gyr hybrid, I believe. And then all of our hawks are Harris's hawks. We have one bald eagle.
You have a bald eagle?
Yes.
I've never seen him out.
Yeah, he has one specific route that he flies. It's along Spring Creek, which is parallel to the runway. Yeah. Parallel to 33 left.
Okay, so we'll be looking for him then.
Yeah.
How often does he go out?
Not as often because he's a little bit older. He's still like middle-aged for an eagle, but like he's 26, so pretty old. He has to have like really nice conditions for flying because it's right beside a runway. If it's too windy, it could sweep him up.
How long would you fly? Would he be an hour? Most of them an hour?
No, his is a lot quicker. Like he does a couple laps maybe of the creek, and then that's his job. Unfortunately, no, he doesn't like to be touched. I do have some feathers that you can touch though. They are real, so just be gentle. Try and gotta go like this.
Wonderful day. We'll wrap up shortly, unless there's anything specific anyone wants to have one more look at. Let me know in the chat. I will do a little wander. We didn't spend much time inside, but just booths and crowds. It's a beautiful looking falcon. Absolutely. I think I learned a little bit about the mechanics thanks to the AME and the Porter hangar. Tower off in the distance. I'm going to try to get up to Pearson a little bit later today, see if we can do maybe an evening stream. See kind of where we're at. Piper. Or Pilatus, sorry, coming in. question, Sandy. I'm not sure.
Super fast. Look at them go.
Tours do happen. Question is how one gets one and how you sort that out is a question.
Oh. Should we wait till the fire there?
Yeah, that's right. Bye-bye.
Cool. Is the helicopter gonna go up soon, do you think?
See a red airplane
Oh, you see a red one?
there.
Oh, I see
Another
it.
red airplane.
I do see. Oh, that's a neat one. Yeah, what do you think that's for? Maybe it's delivering medical supplies. Okay, I hear the helicopters.
Yeah.
Maybe the helicopter will leave. Oh, the siren's on.
Little water cannon salute.
He's gonna spray us.
That's a good way to end, I think. Let's walk our way back towards the front end, and we'll see where we end up. Maybe take a ferry ride back together. Maybe not. Ferry or tunnel? What should I do?
What?
Lots of cool stuff to see here. Yeah, it's open till 5 today if you want to make your way down. I'm going to walk back towards the main terminal area, and we'll end up over there. So let me know. Would you like to ride the ferry back with me, or take the tunnel with me? Up to you. Most votes wins. I got 1 vote for ferry. Two votes for ferry. I might go look at the Dash 8 one more time. I'm a little bit greedy for my Dashies. Just poke my head in. I won't spend long. Robert says, please take the ferry. I might not catch this one, but catch the next one. So, very short ferry. They're like 5-10 minutes or so. It's ridiculous. Ridiculously fast. One last look at the Q400, then we'll make our way down to the ferry to say, ferry thee well. See what I did there? Wasn't clever. I'll stop now. Bob Boats ferry as well. One last look at the Q400 before we head back to the front.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's head back to the front end of the airport. What a cool day. Wind's picking up too. Cool as in awesome, and cool also as in chilly. Love to get up to YYZ in a bit. Runway inspection. You can see the Rogers Center a bit clear here. That's the home of the Toronto Blue Jays. My local and favorite baseball team. What I'll do is I'll maybe go back in through the terminal building and take the walkway up to the top. If we're going to miss this particular ferry, we can at least get some views of scenery and such as we go. Good point about the line. If it's a giant crowd of humans, I may just take the tunnel and end down there. Very happy this seemed to work. I wasn't sure what walking around with my streaming gear would look like, but I wonder if I can show you somehow. Maybe on this. Hey, you know what? There's a reflection on this door. That'll work. So, see what you can see here. So that's me in the reflection, and I've got this bag here that has my streaming box in it, as well as internet and battery power backup. So the streaming box is powered by some external battery packs, as well as the camera is plugged into an external battery pack. I can show you physically here. This is my gear. And I got the headphones on so I can hear the feed as it happens. But mostly it's just me walking around. having a good time here at Billy Bishop Airport. So that's pretty much it. They're open once again. What time is it? Like 12:30. So another 4.5 hours. If you want to come down, if you're in the area, get a chance to see a Dash 8 up close, some takeoffs and landings from the other side, meet a Falcon. They're giving away some swag from some various companies and such, but it's neat to get a chance to talk to some of the AMEs, pilots, cabin crew, and other people that work here at the airport. It's a fantastic airport, worth checking out. It was a great experience the 2 times that I've flown into it. Like I said, I've never had the opportunity to fly out of the airport, but I do like my large jets, not gonna lie. I am flying back to Pearson on a, on a 777 in August from Kelowna via Vancouver, so that will be, I like my jets, but I also love my Dashies, so that'll be pretty cool. All right, we'll head over to the ferry and see what the lineup situation is, and then that will determine where we end. I'm here by the Porter hangar, as you can see behind me. A lot of Porter around. This Porter's home. Jazz has a presence here as well, don't get me wrong. And in fact, half the times I've flown into this airport have been via Jazz on a Dash 8, but Porter kind of got a nice lock on the spot. Let's spin the camera around again. What I like about my setup, while I can't afford the greatest camera equipment and audio equipment, I like that I've been able to make it portable so I can travel with it and do a stream like this today. I definitely couldn't do that back in the old laptop days. That was another time. I'm not expecting to make this ferry, so I'm not racing for it. What I will do is maybe going through the terminal, walk up the escalator, and see the entrance to the ferry from that side, and then if the lineup's too long, we'll go take the tunnel. What a lovely day. I've been here for a few hours myself, but started the live stream about 90 minutes ago. Oh yeah, they're just closing off this ferry, so we can probably catch the next one.
Last year there were hats.
That is the ferry.
And we're heading back into the terminal. And there are elevators over here to the ferry. But I think I'm going to walk through and take the escalator. If I can make it. It's a bit busy. But that's alright. I don't mind busy. We're back inside the building portion of Billy Bishop Airport. Airplane hanging from the ceiling. I'm not going to walk through this section because that's a bit wild. A lot of people lining up for their stuff to chat and meet and get swag and whatnot. The lineups are a little bit intense. But as you saw, if you're not lining up to get free coffee and free booster juice, then you can at least jump into the hangars, learn some stuff about aviation. People like the free snacks. I don't blame them. But I'm not here for snacks, I'm here to look at airplanes. And we will make our way up this escalator. Definitely not as busy as Pearson up here, as we have the check-in gates for Porter and Air Canada Express, which is Jazz. Once again, security heading to Canadian destinations, security to US destinations. And we will make our way over this way to the ferry and see if we can ride back to the, with the biggest air quotes possible, the mainland. The downtown proper, no longer to be on the island, but we're still here. As you can see, the tunnel goes way down. This is just one escalator down, and there's another escalator, same length, to go to the tunnel underneath. That's how I walked over here this morning. I like tunnels. I also like ferries. So, mix it up a bit. Toronto is this way. Just walked by a Porter crew coming in for a flight, cabin crew and 2 pilots. That's cool. Fully operational today, the airport's doing its thing as people are checking out the surroundings. But I would argue it's been a very fantastic day here at Billy Bishop today. Lots of really cool sights, vendors and such. And we'll head our way towards the ferry to Toronto. And we'll hang out here. It's shot at the CN Tower. Move over here. We'll look out the window a bit so we can see some of the things downtown as we await the ferry to return. Learning. The nearby Little Norway Park is named in honor of the Norwegian community that settled around the airport in 1940. That's cool. Oh, from 39 to 43, it was a training facility for the Royal Norwegian Air Force.
Has a cute kind of complexity.
I did not know.
Kind of SimCity.
Now we're just waiting for the passenger ferry to Toronto. We will end once we get off the boat. Maybe I'll walk around the dock over there. See if there's anything worth looking at.
Turbulence.
Probably should have made the last one.
Last chance.
Let's learn some stuff while we wait. This is the passengers embarking to Toronto. It's funny because it's so close to the airport. Many of you already know this, but it was named after William Avery Bishop, Billy Bishop. World War I flying ace. It's interesting that what is now Pearson was the alternate airport for the city's airport, and it is now the main airport. It's getting a little busy in here. My plan is to head to YYZ tonight. Where I end up and what time will be a mystery. This is the boring part of the stream where I'm just waiting for a ferry. Quite crowded now. I'm committed though. I said I'd take the ferry, so I am committed. For you folks. So do I, Robert. So do I. A little light rain will be alright. I got some protective equipment I can use. There's a lovely sculpture down there, actually, in honor of the Mississaugas of the Credit. I don't remember. I read it earlier. Of course, Toronto, but. Dashy. Ferry's coming in now. Arriving passengers first, and then we will get on.
Although the clouds are probably
Passengers are disembarking the other gangway, so any moment now they'll be open, and then we'll end our stream with a look at the view from outside the ferry. I dare say the tunnel makes things way more convenient. We could have been over there by now, but ask and you shall receive. The stream is for you guys. I could literally walk around by myself and do whatever I want, but I'm live, so I want you to enjoy what you're seeing. My pleasure, dude. Boring rainy day in Cornwall equals boring rainy wait in the passenger terminal for the ferry back to Toronto, which is, I want to say, like 300 feet away. There we go.
you're done, we planning to go is there is a garden on the opposite side. Come off the chill garden. हो जा रहा हम लोग वहाँ पे जाके हम लोग hangar on the actually by the window. We can actually go down to the deck. Niche deck. Step out the
And we're on board the ferry heading back to Toronto. That's the city portion of the airport where you can enter and get in the tunnel. Elevators down. And then once again, Ireland Park over there. Some of the statues. But this is a lovely view of the skyline.
So you were saying that
it was on the side.
Oh yeah, I can still see it cut.
Look at this now. You like this?
Oh yeah, you shaved your eyebrows. Nice. Here, hold on.
I was shocked. It said it's 1 hour and 45 minutes at least. No, I can't just feel it on. No? It's a big rock. And then when I looked at the railing, I could see it relative to
I don't know if I would, but some people would. Bobby would be so scared.
I just don't know where I need to go. It's kind of like now I know, but I still love it.
Welcome to the mainland.
That's what I mean. They should do that.
But the people in here is going, oh no.
Exactly. That's what I just said. Yeah.
That's stupid.
It is what it is. C'est la vie.
I was gonna get out of the way here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in here.
Oh no.
Back.
Ramp control.
Yeah, I see that.
Panel.
Oh, great pair.
And when the ramp, yeah.
Go past the yellow line.
You've got a couple seconds.
Okay. No, I thought you would have a yellow line like on the buses.
The main thing is sometimes, people are leaning on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Easy.
What's up behind it? I was gonna say you can't go through here.
Then I have to like line up exactly.
Oh wow. That must be really.
And here we are, back in Toronto with one final view of the airport in the distance. Thank you all so much for joining me today. It's been really cool. I mean, I did sort of this last year, but walking around with the streaming equipment is not something I really considered was something I'd be able to do for an extended period of time. So I really appreciate you being here, and yeah, I think we'll end there as we keep this long shot of the airport. Really appreciate you all. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It really helps us out. And give us a like if you wouldn't mind. Tell your friends. We're going to try to be back tonight at YYZ for one of our regular airport streams. But until then, embrace the journey. And we'll see you again. Thanks, folks.
Any more pictures, anything before we go? Just, do you want to just bask in the fact that you got to go to an airport and see all these planes?